Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
And what's it gonna do?
It doesn't matter how you're doing. Woo! Wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Would you please shut the hell up?
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the human rubble.
What up, what up? Welcome to episode 85 of Keep the Kayfabe. I'm Mike, sitting here with my boys, ready to talk some wrestling. We had the week off this past week, so thanks for tuning in with us today. Just a lot going on. Spring, summer, basketball, hockey, just a lot of good stuff happening. But we got a lot of good stuff in the wrestling world to get caught up on, too. We have some really good matches set up with the Owen Hart Classic on AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage. CM Punk is going to be going up against Adam Hangman Page at Double or Nothing coming up, so a lot of exciting things there. Scorpio Sky is in kind of a little a quagmire. Is that the proper use of that word?
It is.
Is it? Okay, I have no idea what quagmire means.
But it's what he's in.
Yeah, with Frankie Kazarian. So, very good. And our favorite show that the boys and I all attended last year and that we have attended in the past, All Out, will be on the move. Where is it going and why are they doing that? But before we get into all that good shit, let's introduce the boys real quick over in Glendale. My guy who keeps it regal, Steve Groschmidt. What up, Grabby? How are you?
Mike, cut the shit.
Okay. Any reason why?
Jade Cargill tells Tony Schiavone to cut the shit every week.
I feel like Jade Cargill's kind of running with it now that Chris Jericho has stopped saying it all the time.
Yeah.
That was a good draw from there. I couldn't remember who was doing that.
Wizard.
Oh, God. That's too much right now, Charlie. But anyway, let's go to my guy down in Bayview. Somebody who keeps it freshly squeezed, Mr. Prune Juice. Matt Michelson. How are you, Matt?
I'm 73, but watching 76 days. You're 17-time world champion. Woo!
I saw that. What a clown.
Oh, God.
Man. Walk in that aisle one more time.
Yeah, with pallbearers around him.
Oh, man.
Sorry, they took that to a dark place.
For a
all
second,
right.
I thought you meant the valet.
Yeah, Paul Bearer, Percy. What's his name? Awesome. Well, good one there, too. Matt, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. Let's stay down in Bayview. Talk to my guy. Oh, my God! It's Charlie Mike. What's up, dude?
Well, guys, enough for the talking. It's time for the main event.
Perfect.
That was very good.
I like the what culture does where they do it in slow motion. It sounds so funny.
God, it drives me crazy. It's like too long at that point. Oh, yeah. Every time they review Rampage,
It's time.
every time they review Rampage, they'll be like, all right, wrapping up the show, and then they'll play like a slow-mo clip and just wait for it to finish every time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Those boys are funny. Shout out to our buddies, the What Culture podcast. They keep their game tight. But speaking of tight, we have a really cool opportunity to see some awesome matches on AEW Dynamite and Rampage in the form of the Owen Hart Classic, kind of similar to the King of the Ring. And if you remember, Owen Hart was one of the best kings of the ring when he was the reigning champ. He really, really milked that. Owen was just so great. So this is an homage to one of the greatest, Owen Hart. And I really, really like this format. It's spread out over a couple nights. It's all going to culminate in the finals for Double or Nothing coming up soon. But we've already had some really good qualifying matches, but the main matches in the first round have been really cool. Matt, I know you wanted to talk about this one. It was Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. Kind of like a reckless dream match, like a psycho. I know you like the hardcore matches, so your dick was probably real hard for this one, eh?
I definitely could not get up off the couch. This one, I want to say probably a minute into the match, I remember thinking to myself, this match already has the possibility to be like the next Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell match, just as far as like how reckless these guys were. I don't think it ended up being nearly on that level because, to my understanding, neither of the guys got seriously injured to any extent. But for those of our listeners who maybe didn't see the match, Darby Allin, I want to say it was less than a minute into the match. Jeff Hardy has set up a 20-foot ladder in the ring, as he always tends to do these days. Climbs to the top of the ladder. Darby beats him to it and is on top of the ladder. Now, prior to this, Darby had set up not 2 tables outside the ring like they typically would do in a spot like this, but 8 chairs arranged in a way where it was the perfect amount of space for a body to land on the chairs. So Darby climbs to the top of the ladder. Now, keep in mind, this is a huge ladder inside the ring. I don't even know how many feet up it was. Does a front flip off the top, lands back first on Jeff Hardy on the chairs. Just absolutely no give going into it.
Yeah.
Definitely an all-time spot.
And zero hesitation. Darby Allin got up there and just fucking full send.
That guy has
Goes
no
nuts.
fear. It's incredible.
None.
Like, Penta is always, Cero Miedo. I think Darby lives it more than Penta does.
Oh, Darby's the hardcore, dude.
Well, even that promo leading into it, when he's like, "This has been my dream my whole life. I want to go to the hospital. If we don't go to the hospital, then what are we doing here tonight?" Like, I'm like, you're a sick fuck. And I mean, he's young. Has he broken 30 yet, or 25? He's got to be.
I think he's in his. If anything, he's early 30s, but I think he's actually still in his 20s.
Yeah, he's in his 20s.
I thought if maybe 28 at the latest.
Yeah,
but man, I mean, I love the guy, but I mean, the people that he is entertaining. No offense to our listeners out there or any AEW fans, but it's not like these. I mean, you're putting your well-being and life on the line for just common folk that just kind of really enjoy the art of wrestling. But yeah, I that was an amazing match, and Jeff Hardy ended up winning it. Did he not?
Yes,
he did, using a wrestling move. Shockingly.
Yeah, that was pretty good to put over the Elder Statesman. I mean, I think it was just a dream match for Darby to have something like this on TV against probably one of his idols, and it was amazing. The match delivered on all counts. So
yeah, and I think that Jeff Hardy was really happy with it too. You could see at the end of the match, he shook Darby's hand. He was kind of bowing to the crowd, and just the look on his face kind of said it all. Yeah, I think this is one of those matches where we're going to see highlights of it in AEW Dynamite's opening credits for a long, long time. It's going to be like Mankind getting thrown off the cell, except Darby jumping off a ridiculously high ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those oh my god moments for sure if they ever do their top 100, maybe 10 years from now or something like that.
Yeah, I commented to a friend that once I could get aside the fact that, like, thinking that both of these men are going to be in wheelchairs at some point in their career, like, it was just a spectacle. And I mean, yeah, there was like 3-4 times where I just like visibly cringed, like with some of the stuff they did. And it's like, God, that can't feel good. But it was it was definitely one of the best Jeff Hardy showings, because there's been some turds like since he's come back where he kind of looked like he was just kind of gassed at this point in his career. But this, just in part because of who they put him up against, everything, it was like this kind of showcased the right things he can still do.
Well, I think part of it too is Darby really, I think, did most of the work in this match, like scrambling up the ladder, taking all the big spots. Now, granted, Jeff still, tries a senton off the top rope to the outside and hits the steel steps. But the way they were set up, the way Darby was there and he kind of rolled off the steps, I feel like they did it probably as safely as they could have for Jeff's benefit. But despite all that, yeah, Darby made him look really good. The whole thing just worked well.
It did.
Definitely rose to the occasion, both parties. And Adam Cole and I thought Dax Hardwood was an amazing first round match that we saw too.
So good.
Dax is a real one. he did not defeat Adam Cole, but I mean that guy's stock is rising.
Oh, totally.
FTR in general, they might be having one of the best years after Wheeler Yuta, I would say.
I would agree.
I think you're right.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Hard,
exactly.
hard workers, well deserved, put their time in, bit their tongue when they weren't getting what they deserved in WWE. They never complained. They went out there and put on great matches. Now they're getting opportunities here. They broke away from Tully. They can show they can do it on their own. And it's not like really Tully even really contributed a lot, in my opinion, to where they've gotten.
It seemed like
when
it was
they
a
first
match.
came in.
It seemed like it was a match made in heaven, but I think it just didn't really do that much, really, in actuality.
Yeah, it's almost like they forced some training wheels on FTR by putting Tully with them when they really didn't need to. They were ready to ride on their own. So, good for Dax, even though he was defeated by Adam Cole. So then we're going to see Jeff Hardy versus Adam Cole in the semifinal of the bracket. But we have some pretty great matches coming up. We have Samoa Joe versus a Joker. So what's this all about? Do you hear any rumors online floating around? Are they bringing somebody new in, or is it going to be an existing roster member that they're going to insert, that they're going to surprise us with? Any guesses, boys?
So the only rumor I've heard is potentially Johnny Gargano.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
For the only reason being that he could be the one person that could go over on Samoa Joe believably and not hurt Samoa Joe's reputation. Because keep in mind, he's the recently crowned Ring of Honor TV champion, and Tony Khan's really been careful about protecting that brand and building it. So, if Joe has to take a loss, I think Johnny Gargano's the guy to do it with. And that leads to a whole slew of other dream matches throughout this Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
Charlie, what were you?
I heard Cesaro too.
I've heard that one.
Ooh. That would be fun.
Yeah,
That would be a hell of a match.
Talk about another guy who has kind of bit his tongue and never asked for more than what he justfully deserved. But if he goes to AEW and they actually use him properly, wow, that'll be real fun.
Oh yeah. Is that match this week?
Yes, both
Oh,
wild
shit.
cards. Both wild
Nice.
cards are this week. It's a pretty stacked Dynamite this
Oh,
week.
that's gonna be good then. Wow.
Yeah,
Kind of
because
sucks though. They're gonna get a shit rating because the NBA games are on.
they're taking a little bit of a pounding thanks to the NBA,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be all right in the end.
Yeah, but over time, yeah, it's a good show. It's just
Yeah,
It's probably more hockey.
it's more
Well, I mean-
hockey.
probably all of them. But basketball
Yeah.
playoffs and football are king in this country
Yeah.
right now.
I hear that.
Yeah, one thing we know, I mean, unless they're lying, but I don't think they are, is that it won't, like the three guys feuding with Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and the big guy, like all said they're not the wild card, so we know it's not going to be one of those guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's good because that would be underwhelming, quite frankly, if
I'm
one
sure
of
it's
those
gonna be
guys.
somebody surprising.
No, I think so. I think the two suggestions you guys gave would certainly work. Yeah, Gargano and Cesaro would get massive pops. It would be pretty sweet.
I would be so stoked if either of those guys showed up.
Same here.
So tune in on Wednesday to see who it's going to be. And I mean, not only do we get to see an awesome wrestler revealed on the roster, but then we get to see a match against Samoa Joe. Fuck. So
and to your point, Matt, in terms of like Samoa Joe taking a loss and not suffering too much, with those other dudes feuding with him, I mean, shenanigans could cost him the match too, and he'd come out just fine.
Yeah, for sure. Charlie, your thought about Cesaro, that was the other one that I was really hoping to see. I did hear a report come out recently that it sounds like he might be trying to treat some injuries that he was sort of working through for quite some time. Yeah. And to my understanding, no contracts have been agreed on or anything like that. I think he's biding his time and just waiting to see what the best offer is that comes his way. But who knows? Things could have changed since then. So it's very possible we see him come out and fight Samoa Joe this week.
I think it's going to be awesome either way.
Hell yeah. Tune in.
Because he's an old. They were saying that maybe him because he's an old Ring of Honor guy too, so they could use him in Ring of Honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And speaking of Ring of Honor guys, we got a pretty good, awesome match between Kyle O'Reilly and Ray Phoenix on the other match coming up on
That's
Wednesday.
coming on Wednesday. That'll be really good.
I love Ray. I'm so happy he's back. I love what they're doing with Death Triangle and the House of Black right now. That is just a sexy matchup. Great for TV. It looks great.
Two teams that are over like are over.
Yep. And it's they're throwing each team a bone by putting up against somebody reputable, and nobody's gonna suffer, which is great TV for fans like us. So
Totally.
yeah.
My one gripe with House of Black is their total nonsense promos that they do. I think if they got a little more to the point, as Pac said one time, it would come across a lot better. Or just, don't talk nonsense. Just cut to the point and, like you guys all realize this is a fight at the end of the day. And the thing is, Malachi Black is a super creative guy and he has a vision. It's just a very complex story he's trying to tell. And I don't know that it translates really well to pro wrestling, but I think if he tightened it up a little bit along with the rest of the group, got their promos like right on line with everybody else, I think they'd be one of the top trios in AEW. Not that they aren't already, but they could be that much better.
Well, maybe we're just old and don't shop at Hot Topic, so we don't really get it. And
Speak
I
for
bet
yourself.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think they're kind of cool how they fade in and out. I think they got a good thing going. I mean, I'm glad they're getting more airtime, like in already really a space where airtime is so valuable. I'm glad they're giving it to them, and yeah, it might be a little mind bending, but you know what? That means maybe they'll just keep it going to make it more clear whatever it is they're trying to explain.
I just want them to get some resolution on this Julia Hart thing.
Yeah, I know. Steve, you've been spouting off about that for close to 2 months.
I know.
I like it.
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, do you guys have any predictions on who is going to win this Owen Hart Classic?
Dude,
Adam Cole, baby.
I think
Yeah.
Adam Cole is either going to win it or he's going to make it to the final for sure. But he's going
He's
deep.
gonna win. He's gonna win it, dude. They're gonna throw him a bone for those 2 losses, dude. That's
Kind
a
of
done
needs
deal.
it. Yeah.
That's a done deal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a done deal.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I think he needs it. At the same time, I feel like Adam Cole and Red Dragon just need to freshen up their act somehow, because I think I was listening to What Culture a couple weeks ago, and they actually tore into this, which I know a lot of times when they tear things apart on AEW TV, we usually kind of roll our eyes, but I think they made a really good point in this case where those guys have been part of the same gimmick and the same act since their time in NXT. I mean, they basically just took the Undisputed Era and translated it over to AEW. So, for that being the case, I don't know what they do differently, but I feel like Adam Cole needs a little something fresh.
It's gonna heat up, dude. It's gonna. I think Kenny's. I think he's had a delay. He had his delay with his injury, but it's gonna heat up, dude. And I'm telling you, when they do the Forbidden Door and the Bullet Club, when they start booking for that, I'd wait to see what happens after the next pay-per-view, because I think it's gonna heat up. Because I'm telling you, the Bullet Club was way over in Chicago, big time. And now with what's his face, joining Bullet Club. Come on now,
Switchblade?
no, the other guy from Chicago,
Juice?
yeah, with Juice Robinson switching over, and he won the that U.S. title this weekend in New Japan at that show in D.C. It's gonna get, I think it's gonna get hot. I think it's gonna get pretty hot for that show. So I think it's gonna pick up. They're gonna do something too, because the Bucks. I just have a feeling the Bucks are gonna turn on them and go Bullet Club at some point real soon.
Maybe
Really?
Chicago. Maybe
that'd be
Chicago.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I think, probably Chicago. I would suspect Chicago,
That'd
That's
be
the place
amazing.
to do it.
because they're not gonna. They're playing buddy nice now, because I think Kenny wasn't ready to go. So, but I think when Forbidden Door goes down or starts getting there, it's gonna heat up. I think Adam Cole as a champ is probably. I thought he'd get it this year, but I think he's probably sometime next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will say,
Yeah.
I don't know with that. I mean, we talked about it in chat, but I think that MJF stuff he's kind of getting some bad heat on him, man, with talking shit, and I think it's real heat. And so, if I was Tony and he's talking that shit of 2024, I wouldn't put shit on him. He can bitch and I'd let him leave.
Yeah, the drunk choice would be MJF to be your champion, but
I think
I think
what I heard is down the line. I don't know if Punk will win it at the pay-per-view or he wins it in Chicago or at All Out, but eventually that he wins it and then does the job to MJF. That's what some guys were saying. You know, to get MJF, because it's got to go. So a heel's got to get it next after whoever gets it after this thing, and then down the line. So, but with the way he's acting, unless it's a work shoot they're working.
That's what I've always thought.
Because he's talking big shit. I saw an interview today. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
But do you think? I mean, Tony Khan wouldn't let him week after week bring that up on TV.
Probably not.
Would he?
Yeah, not the 2024 stuff like you said.
Yeah,
this week. I was
and in Cody, kind of implying he's going to feud with Tony or Cody in 2024. I mean, I feel like that's
poking. I think he's poking fun at Cody. Like it's his purposeful way of being like.
Well, he's like I saw an interview today. He said they're buddies and they talk weekly. You know, because he's a huge Cody fan. They were, they're legit. They're legit tight. Even when they were doing their feud stuff, they're legit type. I don't know where it's going, but
so it would be a work thing.
I hope it's a work because, dude, you're talking major shit. Because I'd let his ass go. Be like, go on over there, dude. Take off. Good luck. Get your money.
Vince will ruin you.
Yep, exactly. You'll be hating while you're there because all those guys left for a reason. They're not leaving because it's good. But even though they're doing a good job of getting Cody pushing him, but it's like. That's
a lone exception now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying MJF is Cody, but Cody's a little bit on a different level than MJF. People know Cody in WWE because he was there before,
right?
And they've never seen MJF. Yeah, exactly. He could play off of that and his brother.
And you don't know him. He's not like he's big or muscular. So it's like.
And he's not going to be able to do. He's not going to be able to do and say half of the shit, maybe a quarter of the shit that he does.
You name all the things he's done. Like talk about she should have swallowed and all this stuff. Yep. None of that would be allowed. None of it.
He wouldn't have been able to kiss that belly dancer. I don't think.
No, that wouldn't. Absolutely not.
Unless they change. Unless WWE wants it. Unless WWE is thinking we're going to change our product up a little bit. I don't see it happening.
I think that ship sailed. I think with they're so mainstream now, they got to keep it PG.
Yeah. I think regardless of whether he goes to WWE or not, well, if he does go, I don't see him carrying over his gimmick that he has now. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he would somewhat. But keep in mind, WWE doesn't acknowledge other promotions. So anything MJF has done in AEW, or any fan base he's built, is not going to be acknowledged in storylines. So he's going to be starting from square one in the company.
Well, Ezekiel's already taken.
Yeah. And they kind of insinuated, I don't know if it was last week or the week before when Cody was on there, that they kind of said Cody was out of wrestling. They kind of said that he was out of wrestling. He wasn't that that he was just out of wrestling that whole time. They didn't acknowledge that he was in WWE or in AEW or anywhere else. He just said he was out of away from the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Which for half their fans probably they don't know any better.
They don't know and they don't care. Yeah.
Real quick before we move on, did you guys happen to see MJF when he defaced this portrait that a fan made of him at a WrestleCon?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard something about the guy said he took time to watch. I didn't see it though. Yeah,
I took the time while I was taking a dooski, and this girl made this
TMI.
Yeah,
no,
maybe I'll edit it out. Maybe not.
Don't.
she made like this. It looked like almost like a crochet looking thing, but it was like a sketch in pencil. But she made MJF have like a mustache, like so. She made like a really good portrait of MJF. But then when people like deface like posters or textbooks or anything like that, they draw a mustache on him. That's what she did to him. Gave it to him, and he just looks at her and he's like, "How long did this take you to make?" And she's like, "Oh, about like 5 hours." And as soon as she said that, he like just drew all over it, like X'd it out, and then signed it and gave it back.
That's
good
great.
shit. Yeah, really, really good. Anyway, so cool. So I think we kind of covered what CM Punk's path is going a little bit. He'll be going up against Adam Page.
Oh, yeah. But I literally don't know how that match is going to go.
Nope.
I have no idea.
That's what's kind of cool about it.
It's a coin flip, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we'll probably get a vibe about their entrances, what kind of gear they're going to wear. But, okay, so Double or Nothing is at the end of this month. Is it the last Sunday of this month?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we got holy shit, right there. Dynamite and Rampage to set something up. Two of them actually.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this week, week's the next week, and is it this week? I'm trying to bring my calendar up. I can't see it.
This week's got a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. There's the two Joker matches in the tournament.
Oh yeah, it's this week and then pretty much next week, and then it's go time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got literally 4 shows to build it up.
Right.
Well, these next few episodes of TV should be awesome then, because they always do a really good job building up right before the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
totally. They say their Double or Nothing is like their quote-unquote WrestleMania for that company. I think it's all out in my opinion, but yeah.
I think it's Vegas because they're having their like convention and fan fest and all that stuff, and they don't really have the fan fest at All Out anymore.
Yeah, and it was special. It was their first big pay-per-view as a company. I remember watching that at the Drunk Uncle, the Cody versus Dustin match. That was just like one of the craziest matches still. Mm-hmm. Fuck. Once that show was really, really great. So if they want to dub it their WrestleMania of their company, I get it.
Let's not forget what was announced for the pre-show. Hookhausen.
Yeah.
Must see pre-show.
That's going to be real fun.
That should be exactly. It should be fun.
So, I mentioned at the top of the show that Scorpio Sky is in quite the conundrum, or should I say quagmire, against Frankie Kazarian after this last Dynamite. Steve, he's got more on it. Can you take us through this one, Steve? Catch us up a little bit?
Absolutely. So, a couple weeks ago, Scorpio Sky was challenged for his new AEW or TNT title by his old friend Frankie Kazarian, and he said, "Hey, it's the honorable thing to do. I will, I win this title. You'll be my first challenger." And then when he won the title, Kaz came out to celebrate with him, and then you could see the looks on the faces of Lambert and All Ego, and then they're setting up this. Is he going to be at odds with his team because of his old buddy? So then they have the match this past week, which was really good. I mean, Kaz, those guys worked great together. It was an excellent match. And then in sort of a key moment, Scorpio's he's down or he's not paying attention. And Ethan Page comes in and smacks Kaz with the title. Shortly thereafter, Scorpio wins, and then Kaz is mad and he's like telling him, he's saying, Ethan did this, and Scorpio's in their faces like, did you do this? And then he hauls off and beats the shit out of Kaz. So kind of reaffirms his heel status, turns on his old partner. And then Sammy Guevara, who's the consummate disgusting heel that nobody likes for real, comes and kind of makes the save. So that's why, it's weird because one, I was kind of wondering, is Scorpio going to stay a good guy and the SCU reunite? That's not happening. And two, what the hell are they doing with nobody likes Scorpio or nobody likes Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti, but them rescuing Kaz is sort of a face move. So are they trying to back their way back into making Sammy a good guy? Which I don't think is going to work.
It's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. Dude. So it's like I really don't know where they're going with this now, and I just wish to God they'd move on because they don't want to see Sammy go for that belt again.
I'm in the same boat as Steve. I think it was a couple weeks ago when Scorpio Sky came out, cut sort of a babyface leaning promo when he accepted Kazarian's challenge. And I think it was the first sign that he was going to turn face. And then he had another promo, I think, before this match where it was kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, cool. I like where they're going with this. You could kind of think ahead in fantasy book a little bit and things made sense. But after seeing this match and how everything unfolded with Sammy Guevara getting back into the mix, it's even more confusing now than it was before. This is infringing on like Cody territory when he was feuding with Andrade, Malachi Black, and Pac, like all these WWE style 50-50 bookings. A similar deal here. They need to figure this out really quickly and draw some clear lines around who's who.
Somebody, I don't remember where I read this, but said like it was almost like Vince Russo booking. It was like they're kind of going one way, and then just abruptly he turns like on Kaz, and it wasn't really. It was done for shock value, but there wasn't nothing more.
A swerve for the sake of a swerve.
Exactly. And I don't know. I didn't care for it. I'm mostly bothered because what does this do with Sammy? Are they actually going to try to make him a good guy? Because he is not a good guy.
Crazy. Yeah. I don't know. Seems a little rushed. Would you say sloppy booking, Charlie?
Yeah, I just Scorpio's a face, really. You know,
yeah, totally.
You know, he's done heel work with SoCal Uncensored, but that's better because of Kazarian and Christopher Daniels doing most of the talking. So I mean, they need to go ahead and break him off, make him a face or whatever. You know, it's kind of like trying to force whatever they're trying to force. So it's not worth forcing. Hey, there is some breaking news though.
Oh.
Well, on the note that there's breaking news, it feels like it's been a while, so without further ado, it's now time for Charlie's Corner. Charlie, hit us with the news. What's up?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but obviously I couldn't see it. I guess Sasha and Naomi walked out tonight on Raw, like legit walked out and said they didn't like the way booking was going and something with Vince, and they just said, fuck, Sasha left, and then fucking Naomi followed her. I just got this statement it says from WWE. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE's head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team championships on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequences. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret that we were unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event, so they're going to probably catch some heat. I'm sure Sasha's like, fuck it, give me my 90 days, bro.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm sure, and it's kind of interesting, too, what they do with Naomi, too, because, you know, she's married to one of the Usos.
Yeah.
She's in the bloodline, so that's gonna be real interesting.
Yeah. Uso's gonna be put through some tables, I think.
No, they won't do it because they won't. They're not gonna piss Reigns off, dude. So it's gonna be interesting what they do.
Wow. So they were supposed to main event tonight.
Yep. You know they won't cut Sasha. Yep.
Sorry, they have Becky Lynch and Asuka on right now. That was an audible?
I think so, yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Damn.
Because think if they cut Sasha, she'd go right to AEW. Oh,
that would be amazing.
She'd set that women's division on top, dude.
Snoop Dogg would be in there all the time with all of his TV deals that he's doing with TBS. It would be great synergy.
Yeah. Oh man, it'd be pretty good. It's gonna be interesting. They got to keep an eye on WWE news now to see what goes down with this.
I don't want to get everyone too excited, but can you imagine Sasha Banks versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, on the microphone?
That would work.
Oh yeah, that
would look real good too.
Oh yeah, because Britt would make some digs on her walking out and all that shit. But the matches they could come up with, just think Sasha and Serena Deeb. Ruby Soho. You know, if they could really go. Not a WWE match.
Thunder Rosa's got a motor on her, and Sasha has been in Hell in the Cell matches. She's not shy to get fucking weird. So yeah.
Jamie Hayter and Juice. I can't remember her name. Juice Robinson's girlfriend / wife.
Tony Storm.
Yep. Shit can be real interesting.
Hell, I mean, if it was Sasha versus Riho, I'd get up for that.
Oh yeah. our holy Sheeta.
That's right.
It could be real good.
Man.
That's the way you gotta do it, though, man. She's got the claw. If they're fucking you over, fuck them. There's other places to go. There's plenty of places.
And she's young.
Oh yeah. You know.
Maybe she's like Sasha's maybe 27.
Yeah, and even if she doesn't want to do the wrestling thing, she's already got it in on Hollywood.
Well, and she's got money already, so it's not like she's living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
She's established, so even if she doesn't work for a couple months, waits it out, enjoys a little time, and then starts fresh, rejuvenated, refocused, and hungry and determined to wrestle her best matches in AEW coming up.
Yep.
Fuck. That'll move I think that would move a needle slightly.
I hope this isn't some work. I hope this is like legit shit.
I don't think it is.
It doesn't seem like it's a work.
I don't think it is, dude, because there's too many it seems like a lot of shit's going down, like, it sounds childish, but Sasha Banks followed Vince McMahon and several other WWE superstars accounts. And it's like the big headline news going around right now.
Well, and it doesn't really fit the narrative, like them just walking out when they're the champs, you know what I mean? So it's like if it was a work, it doesn't really it's out there.
A lot transpiring tonight in the world of WWE. And with that, this has been Charlie's Corner.
That was a good Charlie's Corner.
Yeah, and there's one more. Omos and Lashley are going to have another confrontation.
Yes. And that's gonna
let it go, dude.
No, man, they gotta have 7 Hell in a Cell matches.
Omos, the guy, like, as my guy G said, Omos. Fucking horrible, dude.
I think that our piano player on Charlie's Corner's music, his hands were getting tired. I think that was the longest Charlie's Corner we've had.
That was a substantive one.
It was an extended cut.
That was good. Well, I don't think it's a work either with Sasha Banks, but earlier today, Charlie did send out a text that I thought may be a work. Our favorite show, All Out, will not be in Chicago coming up. And let me tell you something. I'm a big wrestling fan now, and a lot of it has to do with Charlie Michaels selling me on this venue where All In took place years ago. I was working the coffee cart. Charlie comes over. He's talking about this wrestling show he's going to see. And I'm like, tell me more. And he's talking about how it is like the best place to see a show. The ceiling's a little lower. It gets loud, but like you can hear everything in the ring, so you can communicate with your partner, but like you feel the crowds on top of you. Exactly. It's Chicago. I'm like, man, this is like something that I think I have to go to. Snagged a ticket to All In last minute, $100 on the floor. Changed my life. So I really look forward to going to All Out every year. It's in September. It's Labor Day. It's an extended weekend. Last year, all the Keep the Kayfabe boys went, and we tailgated, met some friends.
Met Glenn.
Yep. Shout out Glenn. What's up, bro? And so now it looks like All Out will be on the move. And Charlie, we were chatting before we started recording tonight. Where's All Out going to be, Charlie?
I heard Toronto.
Fuck, that is kind of cool.
But I heard could be wrong, but from what I hear, they're definitely not doing Chicago this year. And now I'm like I said, I'm really happy now that we bought tickets to Forbidden Door, man.
So you were able to get tickets to that? I thought they sold out
Well, they did sell out, but we bought resale.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. Good for you.
You can get tickets. Yeah, there's a lot of resale. They opened up other sections and stuff, but yeah, nice. We're like up top. But yeah, just to be in the building is going to be fucking insane for that.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's a one-of-a-kind show.
Yep.
Well, and I think it's cool because this is the first pay-per-view that AEW is going to be doing not on USA soil. It's staying in North America, But I
Yep.
think that's a smart move. I mean, Toronto is basically the New York of Canada. It's going to
Yep.
be sweet. Maybe they get Justin Bieber in there. Maybe they get Austin Matthews in
Jesus.
there. They get Vince Carter. They get some, big Toronto moguls in. It could be big. I mean, and it's my favorite show out of the 4 pay-per-views that AEW does.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a pretty. If it's not staying in Chicago, going to a different country like Canada, a strong, very very strong wrestling country, I think that's smart, and I'm kind of excited about it. If it's not going to be in Chicago, I'm glad it's there. So,
I agree.
Yep.
I think AEW's played it pretty safe up to this point, like always going to the same cities. It seems like every week for Dynamite, Rampage, whatever the case might be. Seeing them, or potentially seeing them, do a show in a bigger city like Toronto, it'll be interesting to see how it goes over with the crowd.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be huge. Huge.
I mean,
Huge.
Big
I mean,
wrestling
fucking-
town. Big
Oh,
wrestling
yeah.
town.
Canada has been like so downtrodden on COVID regulations. I mean, they're looking to let loose, and they get fucking buckled up there. I don't know if they're just strictly drinking Molson's, but I mean, they know what they're doing. Weeds open up there too. They like to have fun.
Yeah, plus people from New York State will go over there, because it's so close.
Yeah,
to
Buffalo's right there.
yeah,
They'll
that
probably get
area.
over there.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit's right over there. I think
Is
it's
it-
only
is
like a
it?
3-hour drive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the
I
bridge.
didn't know that. Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was one of my big regrets when Kristen was she was getting her doctorate at University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and it was close to Detroit. I was like,
Damn, you should have went up
man,
there,
it'd be
bro.
so cool to go see Toronto, because
Yeah.
it wasn't that far of a drive. But hopefully I'll get there someday.
Yeah,
Anyway.
someday, yeah. There's one more breaking news, too. That's,
Let's get another choice. Do it again, Matt.
Well, I guess we'll have to put a pause on that thought because it's time for Charlie's Corner Part 2.
I think we talked about it earlier. Ric Flair coming out of retirement, didn't we? For his one more match.
It was referenced.
I think it's confirmed now.
Oh.
This is a classic, Steve. This is something that you marks love. He will be wrestling Ricky the Dragon Steve.
Come on.
I thought you were gonna say William Shatner.
That'd be
Did
just
you?
the same.
Fucking believe that? Who's gonna pay to watch that? Oh my
I mean,
God.
That's not even in the field. It's like, me, I'm like, I grew up in that era, and that like Steamboat Flair, classic stuff. That doesn't even appeal to me.
No, it'd be better if you worked with we've seen him bumping with Jay Lethal, but
Lethal, yeah,
two,
exactly.
two old guys bumping around.
Hey, they're
Oh
gonna
my
build it
God.
up. They're gonna build it up like how they used to do it on the road. Be like, dude, me and Ricky, we would have 246 moves memorized,
Oh,
and we
we
would
had
wrestle
hour-
for an hour, 8
Yep.
days a week.
An hour
Or-
Broadway, 7 days a week.
Yep, 7 days a week, 8 matches a week.
Is this
They're
through
gonna
is this through a company like NWA or anything, or is it just independent?
I think it's some kind of independent start. It's through with his son-in-law, Starcast kind of thing. They're gonna do some kind of
Man.
thing on Fight TV end of July. Yep, 605 in Nashville. It's the okay. They're doing it because I guess SummerSlam's gonna be there for that weekend, but it's oh my God, yeah, they're gonna do it probably. I'm sure at some fairground somewhere. Who was going to pay for that, dude?
So bad.
Oh,
I'd pay money for them to not do it.
yeah, exactly.
I think we should start a GoFundMe for Ricky Steamboat to back out of it, because what has Ricky Steamboat deserved in his career to get like dragged through the mud with Rick? Like,
They must
Please
be paying.
don't.
They must have.
Yeah.
They must have promised him a big check, which Conrad can write.
That's
Ricky-
true.
Ricky's 69 and Flair's what 70 something.
Oh,
please,
So
God,
silly,
no.
baby.
why?
Why?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
anyway.
Why?
We'll see how this
Why?
develops. And with that, this has been Charlie's Corner Part 2.
A hell of a show.
Charlie's
Breaking news.
Corner Nightmare Edition.
Exactly. Oh. Charlie's Corner. That nobody wanted to hear that information.
Yeah,
That's-
save it for Halloween, please. All right. Well, we're getting pretty deep into the show, and this has been a fun one. So let's start to wrap it up here. And there's one thing left before we go, and that is promo of the week. We got a pretty good one here, too. One that looks pretty awesome. It looks like it's done on a camcorder, and it comes from Buck from Panama City, Florida. He said, I wouldn't guess everyone knows who Sal Sincere is, but I met him once, and well, he's a pretty cool dude. Do you guys know who Sal Sincere is?
Salvatore Sincere, yeah. It was Tom Brandy, was it? He was in the early 90s, I think. WWE pushed him.
Really? Okay.
I think his name was Tom Brandy.
So this promo is pretty awesome too. Looking at the stats from YouTube of what Buck submitted, it only has 350 views, and it's from 9 years ago. We're doing better than that on Keep the Kayfabe. But it's Sal Sincere cuts promo on Tommy Dreamer for May 18th match. It looks pretty DIY. Sal Sincere is wearing a pink boa with some guy that looks like he is wearing clothes in his first confirmation. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get to this wild promo. I can't wait to hear it.
Tommy Dreamer, do you remember me? Your former ECW tag team champion. The original tag team. You can Google it. Any of the fans of Elite Pro Wrestling, Google it. It's true. Because I carried the team then, I carried him now. All your whole career, Dreamer, you were jealous. I was always the bigger one. The better looking one. The sexier one. You were a sloppy mess. Wore a t-shirt your whole career. You could never get in shape. May 18th, Kaiser, West Virginia. You're going to go to school, my boy. I'm going to show you what hardcore is all about.
All right, thank you, Buck, for submitting quite the deep cut and
Deep cut.
You know, sifting through the bowels of YouTube promos. I really like it. You guys and gals have been submitting some great promos of the week. Can't thank you enough. Matt, you look like you wanted to say something. Did you have something there, bro?
No, I was trying to come up with a joke when you said bowels, and my mind just went straight to the gutter. But I think that's the perfect explanation for what we just heard.
Well, I think it's the prune juice, too, that you're drinking as well, I think. So
it is. Well, I don't think even the prune juice would have stirred up what you found here and what Buck sent to us. So thanks, Buck.
Yes. Thank you, Buck. All right. Yeah. And if you want to send your promo to us and you want it played on the show, just send it to us DM at Keep the Kayfabe on Facebook or Instagram, or keepthekayfabe414@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you want us to play on the show. Let us know what you want us to watch. Let us know what you love about the show. And, you know, spring has sprung. Summer is, you know, really budding around here. It's nice and warm. I'm walking my dog 3 times a day. Got the baby in the stroller. It's unbelievable. And when I'm walking down the street next to the park where I live, all I can think of is 3 things, is that I'm keeping it Triple H today. And that is staying humble, staying hungry, and staying hard.
Triple H, but be careful of staying hard near a park with children. Triple H.